Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the second installment of For the News. For the news.
It's almost like a second edition.
I know.
Or a second. Yep. But we had to come back. There has been some. Let me fix my microphone. There's been some paranormal news happening.
Paranormal breaking news, everyone.
And while we weren't going to be doing these turning around so quick, we're going to do it anyways because I think what's going on warrants us to do another one.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
So what's going, anything new from yesterday or today? I mean, we just put the show out today.
We did. So we got a little extra here for y'all. But no,
Right.
Nothing new.
This is the unedited us. This is raw and uncut. So you get to hear how sloppy we really are.
Oh, gosh. Come on.
But I hope everybody's excited for this. The first one seemed to go over well. And honestly, the news in this one is way more exciting. And this will probably be an ongoing kind of story because it's kind of still unfolding. But I figured we got the kind of meat of it already. So we might as well just get into it. And maybe we can report later on advancements in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have
I'm sorry. I just want to see how excited I am.
Excited?
And how about that intro music, everyone? Oh, my goodness. I just have to throw that out there
I worked pretty
because
hard on that.
you did absolutely phenomenal.
Well, thank
and
you.
I love that for our little For the News
Segment.
Yeah.
Segment. I know you're fighting it. It's a segment.
It is a segment.
But first, in our paranormal news for this episode, I found it's kind of funny.
Okay.
And do you know who Stormy Daniels is?
I want to say yes.
She's a porn star. Well, was a porn star.
Okay. Yes.
Well, Stormy Daniels has opened up about her paranormal experiences, claiming that a, quote, very dark, non-human thing with tentacles haunted her former home. She also claimed the spirit broke items and affected her health and the mental health of her then boyfriend. Daniels, who's now 43, is an adult film actress and director best known for being involved in a legal dispute with Donald Trump. She claimed she had an affair with him and was paid hush money to keep her silent. Most of us already know that. And then it goes on to say, her real name, which I don't really think anybody cares. So she's had experiences with the paranormal, which began when she moved into a 200-year-old house in the Garden District of New Orleans in 2019. She began by saying she hired 2 mediums to come into her home who informed her there were, quote, multiple entities in the house. Daniels proceeded to describe them to Marquardt. It's somebody's name. I don't know how to pronounce that. Marquardt, who's 49. Quote, definitely one very, very dark, non-human thing with these tentacles, and that's what I caught on camera, and it shattered my ex's guitar. Oh, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, that would suck.
It just snapped in half one day, sitting on the stand. It did not like him at all. One is a woman who lost a child and blamed herself, and if I stood in a certain spot in the kitchen, I would just cry. And like a couple of people said, like they felt she was cutting herself, unquote, Daniel said. That is a bold claim.
Yeah.
Now, the final spirit Daniels described was felt by a medium who she talked to over Zoom. Quote, the house is partially furnished, and there's a very old mirror upstairs that I used to always feel like someone was watching me, but it was kind of a protective feeling, unquote. As she confirmed, the medium knew about the mirror without seeing it and could actually describe what it looked like. She continued, quote, and they're like, there's a woman that used to get made up in that mirror. She was a lady of the night, and she identifies with you because you're a sex worker, and she's very protective of any man who gets in that bed with you. Daniels went on to describe how the strange happenings in the house started to ramp up over time, affecting not just her, but also the partner she was living with. And then, so basically her claim is that her house was haunted by a spirit with tentacles.
I mean, okay. Yes, spirits live in houses. I think the tentacles is throwing me off a little bit, just a little bit.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna say she's lying or anything, but that is
right.
a very that's a bold claim.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
I would have to see this evidence for myself.
Well, she said she caught it on film,
she did.
so let's see it.
Well, she also says, quote, "The guy who was living with me at the time, we started fighting. He got real mean and would say horrible things to me for no reason. And then it escalated to him putting his hands on me, which had never happened when we lived together in our previous place. And then he was gone. When Daniels was left alone in the house, she said she installed cameras that caught shadows of things moving in the house. Eventually, when her lease was up and she was preparing to leave, quote, the house got aggressive. She said, quote, I started having these headaches and my hair was falling out, and I have pictures of me with like blood coming out of my ears. Whoa. Oh. Then like stuff would, instead of something just moving or tapping, it would fly at me. You could feel the hostility in the house. And after her boyfriend moved out of the property, Daniel said she's not spoken to him since.
Wow.
That's
a lot going on there.
Yep.
That's
So I guess this can be seen. There's a full episode of Ghost Magnet. That's who. Okay, Bridget Marcourt is from Ghost Magnet.
Okay.
And the episode is titled "Stormy Daniels' Haunted New Orleans House and Spooky Dolls." It's online and available to listen to now. I guess maybe it's a podcast. But
interesting.
Until I don't know what it is. So if you're interested in following up on that story or hearing more, it's a pretty crazy story. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I don't know what to say about it, honestly. I live in a house with paranormal activity, so I can definitely sympathize to that, or empathize rather.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the tentacle thing that's
it is. It's really throwing me off.
It's like a kraken or something. I don't know. Now, a little bit of another kind of lighthearted story before we get into all the, shall I say, drama.
Drama.
The title of this story is actually really fun. I like it. Dog on highway dubbed guardian angel after he mysteriously vanished.
Oh, okay.
This is about a ghost dog.
Ooh. I like it.
Footage of a dog mysteriously disappearing by the side of a road is giving TikTok users the creeps. In a clip shared on September 9th, user Travis Bishop, or at Travis.1783, can be seen petting a dog he found on the side of the highway during a ride on his motorcycle. However, after turning away for a few moments, the dog disappeared, spooking Travis. Travis. Since being posted, the post has received over 11 million views and over 26,000 shares from users convinced Travis had experienced a, quote, supernatural sighting. There is a video of this. Oh, such a pretty dog. And I don't know if I should play it because I think it's going to be more of a video format, but it's such a cute dog. Hold on, Megan.
I'm very curious.
Look at the puppy.
Aw.
Oh, I want it.
So cute.
He's so cute.
I'm curious in watching the video, which we haven't yet. Maybe we will. But if it's very visible that's what happens.
It's very visible. He looks up, looks down the road, looks back, and the dog's gone.
I mean,
that's literally, it's just gone. My only issue with TikTok and things of that nature are how easy it is to manipulate those.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would love to believe that one. Really would. I would really like to, but I don't know.
So, I don't know. People can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, people can do all kinds of stuff in paranormal shows and all that too.
It's like our kids watch those videos of the guys who like do all that crazy CGI and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you can do things on TikTok. I'm just not. I don't. I had TikTok for a little while because it was on it for like listening to music and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it anymore, and I don't know how advanced you can actually go with stuff like that. So I don't know. It says in the video, Travis, still in his helmet and riding gear, can be seen cuddling up to the dog, who seems to be enjoying the attention. The pair are on a rural highway, surrounded by brush and desert. Quote, "Who's a good boy?" he asks the dog, who wags its tail happily. "It's dangerous out here, man. You're on a blind corner," Travis says, as he stands up to show viewers the road. And when he turns back around, the dog is gone. And he says, "Where'd you go, little dude?" It says, sounding confused, of course. "What in the hell?" He's gone. Travis then pans the camera around the area to show the dog is nowhere to be seen. And I did say it. He's nowhere to be found. Travis gave further details in the caption, writing, quote, "So I came around a blind corner to find this little guy in the middle of the road. I was going to take him elsewhere, but look what happens next." So, if you're interested in maybe seeing this video, or maybe there will be some kind of follow-up, because it seems to be what happens, a lot with the paranormal stuff on the old tickety talk, then give him a follow at Travis, TRAVIS.1783.
Interesting.
Tell him For the Boo sent you. Now, this is why we're really here. Now, I feel like the majority of people that listen to the show are probably going to know about this.
Already?
Well, it depends. Do you have Twitter?
Ah.
Because, I know that there are certain posts that pertain to this that are making it onto other platforms, but I think the real meat of this is on Twitter.
Okay.
Now, for anybody who didn't know, and we're about to be the bearers of bad news to you, then I apologize, but it seems Destination Fear has officially been canceled.
That they have. And unfortunately, that is, I don't know about any of you, but probably our number one show. We absolutely love Destination Fear.
That's like the one show that, it's like we will watch a lot of stuff together.
Right.
But there's hardly ever a show that comes along that we are both like excited to watch.
Super excited.
Every time.
Day it comes out, we watch it no matter like what we're doing that day. Like I'll come home from work late and we're still going to watch it. Whereas others, we kind of let a couple episodes build up and then we'll watch them, whenever we get around to it. But Destination Fear is one of those that is just top tier for us. And I think it's because it's not really a ghost hunting show.
No, it's a show around the premise of being scared.
Right. And they're seeing how far they can push their limits in fear and how that is affected in a paranormal situation. She did. But yeah.
Yep.
It's been canceled.
It has. And this all started a little while ago. What started it was the rumor that Destination Fear and basically any channel that had a female investigator on it was going to be off of Travel Channel. I don't really know if I'm not sure if Travel Channel and Discovery Plus are the same.
Mm-hmm.
If they are, this is going to be even more controversial. But on March 7th, all this started to come out. And Nick Groff of the original Ghost Adventures crew made a post on Twitter, and I'm going to play that.
I've been going nonstop at haunted locations, investigating, but I wanted to stop down from filming for a second to let everybody know that I'm seeing all your questions coming in. There's thousands, so I'm venting through all of them. I'm going to sit down and honestly answer them. So stay tuned. I have a video coming out. I will be posting it. And something's come to my attention, so now I have to talk about it. I've been keeping my head up for all these years, but I will be answering them very soon.
And that was the kickoff where he said that he was going to make an announcement that he had been biting his tongue long enough.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll be real. I don't know if it was exactly the same time or not, but it was when all this was coming out. This all kind of happened like bang, 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 bang.
Right. I think this came out like in lieu of this stuff beginning. You know what I mean? I think he kind of spoke out at the very, very beginning of it.
Well, the problem is that all this had come out because it was rumored that Zach Baggins was the reason that all of these shows were going to be getting canceled or taken off, because the way they made it seem was that it was he didn't like the competition pretty much.
Right.
So it kind of was, everybody was kind of rallying behind these shows because honestly, we were just talking about this in the bathroom, and it is, who still sits down and watches brand new episodes of Ghost Adventures? I'm not saying that people don't watch them. Of course they do. But it's not like a Destination Fear or one of these newer shows where it's become like the modern day equivalent to an old school sitcom where it comes on and everybody's got to watch it.
Right.
I got to watch it because it's new, because if I don't, then social media is going to ruin it for me. But right after the whole Nick Groff thing, let me make sure I'm time right here. Oh no, this was actually before. Okay, so I'm backwards.
Okay.
Dakota's video came first.
Ah.
Okay, and with Dakota's video, man, I should have played those better, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm going back and forth between Twitter profiles doing this. So this was on the 3rd of March.
Okay.
And then it would be 4 days later that this would be followed up by Nick's video that we just listened to. But I'm pretty sure this was the original video that started all of these. So this is Dakota Layden from the formerly Destination Fear.
Okay, guys, I got to make this quick. First of all, you're amazing. You guys, the love, the support this week has been unreal. And clearly that message is going far because I just got a phone call and I have to publicly address this now. Here we go. Did Zach Bagans shut down Destination Fear? No, he didn't. Did Zach Bagans call the network and say, shut it down? No, he didn't. Right now, we don't even know if Destination Fear is canceled or renewed. I will say it's not looking good, but I have to tell you guys, in this industry, these decisions are business. This is a business decision and has nothing to do with anyone's ego or whatever. However, does that mean that Zach and me are friends and that he's been supporting the show and everything has been chipper and great? No, it doesn't. And I have a lot to say and more to come on that front.
Okay. So what was going on right before this was that the new season or being canceled was up in the air.
Right.
And they were actually selling shirts that said Renew Destination Fear for season 5. Mm-hmm. And a rumor was going around that Zach Baggins was taking off shows that directly competed with him because this is what he's been doing to Nick for years.
Right.
For years and years.
Push him off from being able to compete with other shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what was happening. And then they all, both sides of this, so Nick and the Destination Fear people said that they were going to release videos. Mm-hmm. Nick finally decided that after all these years, he wants to start answering questions for people about what has been going on, what happened, what happened. I'm not sure if this is going to be a two-part video from Nick, but I do want to play the video of what he says because look, I know while the majority of us probably watch this stuff, maybe not all of us are into the know when it comes to what is actually going on behind the scenes.
Right.
And I think you should be. Like, if you're a fan of the show and you are, outside of just being like you like it for the television side of it and you're a believer, then all this really does, it should concern you because I'm just going to be real here. All right. Zach and the Ghost Adventures crew, while we did say we think they're real, we also said they're real to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And if I had to trade them for other shows that I thought were actually real, I would go that route.
I would too, hands down.
And I don't understand why they can't coexist within the same universe. So
right.
If you're a fan of these, then you should care what Zach is doing, because he's basically trying to create a monopoly around Ghost Adventures to where they're the only ones that can be on Discovery Plus. So if you have paid for Discovery Plus like we did for your paranormal content, this will affect you.
Yeah. And I think that like what people do and how people act should affect the rest of what they do and create. I think, causing issues and things like that, I think that just shows more of a character of someone that I feel like I would want to know watching their show.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, though, like, who really, is like, oh, my God, new season of Ghost Adventures. We all probably watch it, but we watch it at our leisure. Nobody cares when it comes out anymore.
Yeah.
So after about, 2 weeks of post-teasing that we are going to get something, I'm going to play this clip in its entirety. It's about 7 minutes long. This was Nick's video. And I promise everybody, this new segment is coming with a happy ending, a very happy ending. But this was Nick's response to basically the snowball that was rolling.
Yeah.
And this is where it goes to. And this is where we're going to be at currently, sort of.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
So from his little 30-second clip,
Okay.
how long after is this video?
It's like 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Just a timeline. Thank you.
Well, what he was doing is they made a post on Twitter,
mm-hmm.
and it was asking people to write in questions that they've always wanted to know.
Gotcha.
So he was going to be an open book. So if those questions directly went against Zach, that was fine. He was going to answer anything anybody wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we're going to get some answers.
Awesome.
We're not going to get all the answers, unfortunately, which is why I'm not sure if this is going to be a 2-part thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is, we will come back and we will report on that one as well. But this is the bulk of it right here. And some of it, while maybe surprising to hear, I'm not surprised at all.
Right.
And neither will most of you. But this is Nick Groff's response to what's been going on.
Okay, let's get into this. I got all your questions. I sorted through them. Let me start off by saying this. I never had an NDA. I was not fired from Ghost Adventures. I never did, quote, a bad thing. I never cheated in a relationship that I was in. I was misled with the ongoing of Paranormal Lockdown. I kept my head up for 9 years. I pushed forward. I kept trying to move on, creating new hit shows. But the previous hosts that I used to work with keep trying to stop my career. So this is my story. This is from my perspective, and now I have to talk about it.
Okay, Rachel asked, this may be controversial, I know, but what was it like working on the GA team after the documentary and Fame hit? Just wondering if rumors are true about you-know-whose ego from experience. I questioned him once about how he treats his team and was blocked instantly.
In my opinion, this rumor is true. I witnessed it firsthand, and I saw him treat people just as poorly. This host was terrible to work with. It was an extremely hostile environment to work in, and also Dakota can speak on his experience with him too.
All right, this is from Glenda from Texas. Aaron has already explained why you were fired. You went behind Zach's back, started a new show without discussing anything with him. Trying to destroy him at this late date will do you no good, except she spelled no wrong.
I did not get fired. That is false. I did not go behind anyone's back. My contract allowed me to produce other shows, just like the other host who I was working with, who produced several other shows. This is simply jealousy, nothing to do with legalities.
There were multiple questions regarding whether or not you believe that you have been limited or blocked from appearing on Travel Channel.
In my opinion, I do believe I was blocked from the network and continuing my shows, specifically because of one host who I used to work with. And the reason I know this is because several executives I spoke to at the network said, I can't come to that network as long as he's there. And also, years later, speaking to Dakota, who finally spoke out about it and confirmed it for me, that yes, when he was filming with this one host at a location, this host came into the room bragging, laughing, saying, ha ha ha, Nick's never going to work in America again because I gave the network an ultimatum to choose him or me. So now having that confirmation, this is the reason I'm speaking out today about it, because finally someone has the guts to talk about it publicly.
Marshmar1 says, I'm sorry, this was like 10 years ago. Move on with your life. Stay out of the drama.
It's not drama when it directly impacts my life, my career, and my family. I wouldn't have to get involved in this conversation if this individual didn't continue interfering with my life.
There's a ton of questions wanting to know exactly why you left Ghost Adventures.
In my opinion, based on what I was told, a certain individual that I worked with called up the network and said he would not show up at the next location if I showed up. I was dragged along for 2 months and I kept being told, we don't need you at this next location. Then another week would go by, we don't need you at that location. Got to the point where I was dragged along for so long that my lawyer finally stepped in. He gave me a choice. I could either move on and make something better, create something new, or just be a sitting duck and just wait. So I chose to move on and create Paranormal Lockdown.
Okay, so this brings me to a bunch of other questions that have to do with Paranormal Lockdown. People want to know what happened to Paranormal Lockdown. Many of them are saying it was my favorite paranormal show of all time.
Paranormal Lockdown became one of the highest rated shows for the network at the time. And yes, it is true that a merger was occurring and we were kind of on hiatus, still filming. But then I was told by the network executives that we would continue Paranormal Lockdown into 20 episodes and keep going after it. But then suddenly, radio silence. We had to get on the phone, talk to the network, and try to figure out what is going on, because this is what I was being promised. And this brings me back around to what Dakota witnessed about a certain individual, a host who walked into the room bragging and talking about how he stopped Paranormal Lockdown. I believe I know what happened to my show, Paranormal Lockdown, but what do you guys think?
A lot of people have sent screenshots or even tagged us in the original tweets that Zach posted years ago. And it goes like this. Zach says, anyone out there who gets fired from a job for doing bad things can't use said job as a resume of achievements, total deception. He goes on to say, please for one time in your life, do something 100% original. And then continues to say, disgusted to see someone using our show name, Ghost Adventures, to keep promoting shows and himself that we want absolutely nothing to do with.
Here's proof that he's putting out statements about me, talking about how I did, quote, bad things. Multiple people in the industry reached out to me and stated Zach called them and told them not to work with me. After speaking with Dakota, I learned that these patterns have not stopped. I believe that these rumors were used to try to hinder my career. And as far as him going on and saying I use Ghost Adventures for my resume, yes, it is part of my resume. I helped create the title Ghost Adventures. I edited it. I was a co-creator. I was in it for 10 seasons. I have every right to use Ghost Adventures on my resume. Bottom line, these are false statements and his way of trying to ruin my reputation.
Nikita asked, are you way happier now getting to investigate your way and have full control of what you're producing?
As you're seeing now, people in the industry are talking how difficult it is to move away from a network that's fully producing their project. I took matters into my own hands, gained full control over my project, Deathwalker, so this would not happen again. To answer your question, I'm way happier now. I have full control of my projects. I'm away from toxic people. There's no restraints. And I'm able to pursue my passion of real paranormal investigations with credible evidence.
What about the allegations in the media regarding you cheating?
These allegations are completely false. I have never cheated. I have never had an affair. In my opinion, these rumors and allegations were put out into the media purposely by a very hateful and jealous woman.
Chris says, how's the baby doing? I hope you all are happy and healthy.
I couldn't be happier. The baby is doing fantastic. All of his brothers and sisters are doing great. They all love each other. Tessa and I are extremely happy with our life right now, and we're growing together. We're working on new projects, and we're pursuing our passion. I could go on and on about why I have zero respect for these certain people that I worked with in the past. I have never allowed anything to stand in my way. Tessa and I will not allow anything negative to stand in our way with everything that we have coming up. I'm putting all these rumors to rest because, again, we're moving forward. Tessa and I have been doing this since we were little kids, and we look forward to continuing to bring you real paranormal content.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
So this was all, basically, this is all that had come up as of yesterday.
Okay.
Which would have been Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were watching this out, just having a fire.
Yep.
All we knew was that Destination Fear was no more. A post came out from Dakota and Tanner and Chelsea and Alex confirming they had indeed been canceled.
Boo.
And Megan almost cried.
I did. I genuinely did. I teared up. I have grown to absolutely love them as a show, as, you know, people I watch on TV, and I don't know, I feel like they're my friends and they're like cool.
Now, as I started looking into this, though, that same night, something popped up in my feed called Project Fear. And it had Dakota and Chelsea's face on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a Kickstarter.com link. So I'm going to play this now. Okay. And this is the end of the story, the saga, if you will, as of right now. I don't know what else will come out of this, but this is where we all get to rejoice a little bit. So I'm going to play this for everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying this.
We are.
Well, you guys, after 4 seasons of amazing times, amazing memories, the TV show Destination Fear has been canceled.
There will not be a season 5, and there is no more show.
It is incredibly crushing to know that it's the end of the road for Destination Fear.
It really sucks to know that this is the end of the road for us.
That's the hard part about this type of job, is that you are never promised tomorrow, and you're not just doing that hard work for yourself. It just turns into something so much bigger than a TV show.
This has been an actual adventure of a lifetime. It's been amazing.
The amount of times, like, we were on the floor laughing.
We got to go on the road and experience life.
It forced us to go through so many tough moments together and have each other's backs.
It was the community that we were so lucky to have. I think that's the part that hurts me the most, is people from all over the world have been placed into our lives because of this show.
Some of my greatest memories with this is meeting the fans at conventions.
The fact that we get to be a memory in your guys' life with your family, it was a dream come true.
You guys are like family to us. You guys have changed our lives more than you know.
We're not letting this die. That would be so unfair for us to just stand by and do nothing.
We're not done yet. We've got more gas in our tank.
Welcome to the next phase of Fear, a whole new project, and that is our Kickstarter campaign.
We are a group of lifelong friends. I mean, day one. I was actually at the hospital the day Dakota was born.
So when we were all brought into this world, we knew each other from day one.
We all grew up together across the street from one another.
Our love for the paranormal kind of grew together, and it's kind of what bonded our friendship.
We love filmmaking and we love scary buildings.
Those were our two passions. It eventually turned into a self-produced documentary called Trail to Terror. And that project found a home at Travel Channel, where Destination Fear was born. We are making it our mission to create an all-new but very familiar show.
We have Dakota, who not only created the show, he was the visionary for this show, but he also is the editor.
I even created the intro score, the actual visuals for the intro. I shot it in a hotel room while we were on the road.
Down to the production side, we purchased all of the equipment used to create this show.
The lights, the cameras.
We currently own all of that.
This has truly been an in-house production that will not change. We are basically picking up where we left off.
We have all of the equipment, all of the skills needed to take what you've seen on TV and bring it to YouTube.
We are coming to YouTube.
So yes, the TV series may have ended, but our next destination is here. Project Fear. An all-new psychological experiment.
Project Fear is everything you are used to, but with no limitations.
We will be able to give you the show that we've always wanted to create. I'm talking longer overnights. No time restraint on how long the episodes have to be.
We will be able to bring on special guests.
We could even bring you guys on our show.
So for this Kickstarter, our goal is to raise $65,000. With that money, we will be giving you 2 brand new haunted road trips.
We can give you 2 entire road trips for a fraction of the cost that it was to produce 1 episode of Destination Fear.
Our first road trip is set to take us back to some of the scariest locations we've ever been in an 8-part series called Return to Terror.
Places like Sweet Springs Sanatorium.
And our second road trip will be revolving around brand new locations.
We can literally bring you the fear all year round. Our goal with this Kickstarter is to create a self-sustaining show.
If you can, only if you can, we ask that you contribute to our campaign.
For those of you who want to contribute, there are some incredible prizes and rewards for you.
If we can raise more money than the $65,000, that just means more road trips, more episodes, more fear.
Whether you can contribute or not, you can still support us by sharing this Kickstarter.
Spread this out to as many people as you possibly can.
Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram.
You never know who might possibly see it and who might be willing to help out.
Just share it, please.
So thank you guys for watching this.
We can't wait to get on the road again.
This is not a time to get angry or upset. This is a time to be excited.
Welcome to the Fear Fam.
Boom. I wish I had a microphone I could just drop.
Oh my God. I'm so excited.
So out of all of this awful stuff is we win.
Oh my
Now,
God.
I would love to say that's it. We're out of here. But there's even more exciting news on top of that.
There is.
And that is that within the first 2 hours of a almost month-long Kickstarter, the initial goal was raised. So Project Fear will now be a reality. And it has 20 days to raise a fraction of what they need to basically sustain it for the next 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So if you love this show like we do, I have posted the link on our Twitter. Megan posted it on our Facebook. Go find it, go to it, and donate if you can. And if you can't, that's fine. Share it. Maybe some other people you know can. At least they'll share it. But regardless of what you do, our favorite show, all of our favorite, most of all of us' favorite show will be returning on YouTube of all places. I'm so excited.
So freaking excited.
They will be able to do whatever they want. There will be no limitations. There will be no time constraints. There will be no, we can't go here because of a network deal or anything like that. it's all going to just be up to them at this point.
Oh, so excited. I can't say that enough. I want to scream.
So if anybody's wondering, I went a step farther and I checked all of Zach Bagans' social medias, and he is yet to respond to any of this. What I have seen are a bunch of little, like, I would guess it would be fan accounts that are commenting like crazy about it and talking about how, you know, Project Fear, Dakota and all them and Nick are all just jealous, and
it's crazy the things that they are saying.
It's just, it's baffling to me why, if we're all in search of the paranormal, then why did money become such an issue?
Right.
You know, I get it. You make your money, you're famous and you're rich, and that's fine. Look, if we could get famous and rich from doing this show, I would be ecstatic about it, but I wouldn't start making false claims about stuff. And I damn sure wouldn't be going against other people within the paranormal community. This isn't a soap opera. This isn't, you know, battling news channels from across town like Anchorman. This is, it's supposed to be a scientific field. So it's just crazy to me that it's like this. But I think at the end, we are all coming out on top of this. And there are lots of cool things like you can get for donating. Like the minimum one that you can do is, I think it's $40, and you get a little rubber ducky like Dakota's, but all the cast members sign it. So you get an autograph for $40 of everybody, but they go all the way up to $10,000. And if you can do that one, you will get to be on the show.
Yeah. So crazy.
Which
so cool.
Better believe if we had that money, we would be on that show.
Oh yeah.
So,
but we donated, we helped, and
absolutely.
We are so very excited to be able to help. And like we said, even if you can't, share the link, get it out there, and you know, that supports them. Absolutely.
And because we have a small platform here on the podcast, we thought we'd help in another way and just tell everybody. So if you weren't aware, you're aware now. And if you're not a YouTube person, get ready, because you're about to be.
Yeah.
And I really think this is where we're going to end it. If more news comes out revolving around this, if there is another part to Nick's answering questions, or even if Dakota and all them decide to put something out like that, or if Zach responds to any of it, we will definitely keep you up to date on what's going on.
We will. And like you said, you know, this is a scientific field, and this is a community of people who support that and support everything that goes into that to prove the paranormal, to prove that the existence of ghosts and spirits and all of it. And we're all supposed to be together. This isn't supposed to be people against other people. And I mean, I get that not everybody can get along, and, you know, people can't work with certain kinds or types of people, or relationships burn and fizzle, but it doesn't have to go to the extent
I agree.
that it has seemed to come to.
Well, and it's too bad that it shut down Paranormal Lockdown, because I used to love that show.
Oh my God, we love that show
so
much.
And it ended on such a high note.
Yes.
Like, it was at the top, and all of a sudden it just... Look, nobody's saying you have to hate on Ghost Adventures or Zach Bagans or anything like that. That's completely up to you guys, but I will probably never watch Ghost Adventures again because of this.
This has been eye-opening.
Well, you know, it just confirms everything I already thought about him. Now I just know for sure.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I won't support them. If this is what's going on behind, you know, closed doors, I won't support that.
Yeah.
And
so thank you for speaking out there, Dakota Layden.
And Nick.
After
all these years of silence. And I really do hope that there will be another part to this.
I do too.
His thing.
And I hope that good things come from everyone speaking their truths.
Speak thy truth.
Speak your truth.
Speak thy truth, sister. All right, well, I guess this is going to end this segment of For the News. And yeah, I'll put another one out when we get there, I guess.
We will. Thank you, everybody, for coming along for the newsy ride. We appreciate it.
Newsy ride. Well,
thank you so much for listening, everybody. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.